The future of the HHS contraceptive mandate hangs in the balance tonight. The Senate is fighting over the confirmation of a cabinet member who could help kill it. That's Congressman Tom Price, Donald Trump's pick to lead the Health and Human Services Department. Let's go to correspondent Jason Calvi on Capitol Hill. Jason.
Lauren, Georgia Congressman Tom Price has said the contraceptive mandate violates the right to religious freedom. It forces most employers to provide employee health coverage of contraception, sterilization, and abortion-inducing drugs. If confirmed, Price will actually be able to do something about it.
Dr. Tom Price is a 7-term congressman with a 100% pro-life voting record.
He has co-sponsored an extreme personhood bill, so-called, that would establish that life begins at conception.
He has advocated for defunding Planned Parenthood.
And Price has long pushed to dismantle Obamacare, including its contraceptive mandate.
For our clients, I think it's going to mean that their freedom is going to be restored.
Christian law firm Alliance Defending Freedom has filed some of the 56 lawsuits against that mandate. Attorney Casey Maddox is hopeful Price will bring change.
We've seen 8 years of an Obama administration that's been driving a really extreme agenda. He fully understands how important it is to make sure that rights of conscience are protected.
The Little Sisters of the Poor and EWTN have fought the mandate.
The burden is the burden on our conscience.
And 20 of the nation's attorneys general supported the sisters, whose case went all the way to the Supreme Court. Alabama's Luther Strange is one of them.
I'm particularly interested in this case because EWTN is headquartered very close to where I grew up and where I live in Alabama. So I know the good work that they do and all religious nonprofits. And what we're dealing with is the aftermath, the effects of the Obamacare legislation that is forcing people with strongly held religious beliefs to do things that would violate those beliefs.
And now Strange will be one of the people to vote on Price's future. Just a few hours ago, he was sworn in to replace outgoing Senator Jeff Sessions, now our country's Attorney General. Lauren?
And is our new country's Attorney General going to have anything to do with this mandate?
Attorney General Sessions may play an important role in the battle against the mandate. In his new role, he could decide to settle all of the legal cases challenging the rule.
All right, Jason Calvi on Capitol Hill. Thank you, Jason. Joining us now is Ed Heiselmeyer, Senior Research Fellow in Health Policy Studies at the Heritage Foundation. Thank you for joining us, Ed.
Thanks for having me.
How is this repeal going to play out? We're seeing Price as a key person to do this, but it's a very complicated process, which is why we brought you here to help uncomplicate it.
The first thing to understand about this is the original legislation gave the executive branch, particularly HHS, but some other departments like Treasury and Labor, a lot of authority to write the details and the rules. So now you have a new administration. They can go in, they can repeal them, they can rewrite them, et cetera. This is an example of one where the new administration can go in and rewrite the regulations and the rules.
But how can you repeal Obamacare before you have a plan to replace it?
Well, you don't have to replace every last piece of it. In fact, that's
of course,
part of
that's what people want, right?
People wanted to get rid of a lot of it. So there's a lot of it that can be changed. The other thing is you can change how the program operates. So we have seen in regulation, we've seen a lot of cost increases and damage done to the market, people who buy their own insurance. You can start to change some of that administratively. That's what Secretary Price, when he's confirmed, will be able to do.
That's the first thing he'll do.
That's right. Congress needs to act on the underlying law. The first thing to do is to repeal some of the key portions of the law that they can do through what's called a budget process.
And what would those be?
A lot of the extra spending and taxes, because it's a budget process. So anything that really is mainly about taxes and spending, you could actually tackle in that. Then Congress would need to come back and probably do several more later.
I know that
getting other aspects.
Right, I know Donald Trump in the beginning said first 100 days repeal Obamacare, and now has come out to say 2018, because I think it takes a lot.
Yeah, I don't think you have to wait that long. I mean, and certainly the first part. Look, in the first part, Congress already passed last go round in the 2015 budget cycle, really a dry run of this, where they got the votes in the House, they got the votes in the Senate, they passed it, and they sent it to President Obama, who of course vetoed it.
Right.
So what we're saying is, look, you take that as your
That
starting
structure,
point. Now,
right.
yeah, you have to change some
Okay.
of the effective dates and things like that, but yeah.
But what I want to know is about the substance now, the conscience rights portion of these issues like the HHS mandate.
That is actually something the administration can tackle. And that's interesting because you don't have to wait for Congress to weigh in on that. The way the law was written, it allowed HHS to add these things in as requirements, and HHS picked contraceptives as one of the additional requirements they were going to add in. So interestingly enough, it's actually done in a way, and this is something people don't realize, that you don't even have to go through a formal regulation process because they didn't do that when they put it in there.
So all you have to do is?
You could just take it down from the website and edit it and put it back.
And that's it? Okay.
Yeah, it's literally,
It's
we've had this
Okay.
huge fight over that. That would actually be one way to do it.
All right. Thank you so much, Ed Heiselmeyer with the Heritage Foundation.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you joining us.